On Monday night, the FBLA members came to the school and made Valentine's Day cards for veterans. We had done this over the years, every January, for Nancy Platts. The Valentines were put in a contest which won prizes for the most creative cards. Then the members had a pizza party. Each year, our school has an annual health screening for all the K-12 students. Nursing students from Truman came and took the kids' height, weight, blood pressure, looked in their ears and eyes, also had a vision check. In the girls' game against Scotland County, Brashear went scoreless in the first quarter and was limited to 4 free-throw points in the second quarter. Scotland led 19-4 in halftime. In the third quarter, Brashear scored 7 points and 7 points in the fourth quarter. Scotland County took the win with a score of 43-18. Shelby Salter had 6 points, Ivy McKim and Sydney Slavin had 4 points each, and Meredith Thomas and Olivia Thompson scored 2 points each.
In the boys' game against Plato led 32-4 after the first quarter and 50-51 at halftime. Plato came back and scored 27 points in the third quarter and coasted to a 86-33 win. For Brashear, Hayden Hausman scored 8 points, Cody Snelling and Nick Thomas had 7 each. Adam Songer scored 5, Zach Reeves had 4, and Jay Scudder scored 2 points.
On Thursday night, the Lady Tigers dug themselves a deep hole to climb out of in their game against North Shelby. Brashear trailed 17-6 after the first quarter, but bounced back to close the gap 23-18 at halftime. North Shelby spoiled Brashear's hopes for a comeback when they outscored the Lady Tigers 14-3 in the third quarter and then held on in the fourth for a 47-34 win. Meredith Thomas scored 17 points for Brashear. Abby McKim had 8, Stephanie Elsie had 4, Shelby Salter had 3, and Olivia Thompson scored 2 points. Also, on Thursday night, the Brashear boys hoped to avenge a January 4th 80-66 loss to Atlanta. Like the first meeting, this was a back-and-forth game with Brashear leading 9-8 after one quarter and Atlanta leading 19-16 at halftime. Brashear played a strong third quarter and led 32-28 going into the fourth. During the fourth quarter, Atlanta turned to their perimeter game and took the lead on the strength of 4 made three-point shots. Brashear tried to push the pace but couldn't close the gap, and Atlanta held on for a 52-42 win. Nick Thomas scored 13 points for Brashear. Adam Songer and Hayden Hausman had 7 each. Jay Scudder scored 6, Cody Snelling had 5, and Zach Reeves scored 4 points.
Last Friday, the Brashear girls played Atlanta for the 7th and 8th place game. The Brashear girls wasted no time and jumped out to a 16-5 lead after the first quarter and rolled up a 33-13 lead at halftime. Brashear was up 47-17 after 3 quarters and cruised to a 51-18 win. Brashear had 3 players in double figures. Meredith Thomas scored 15 points, Stephanie Elsie and Shelby Salter had 11 each, Abby McKim added 6, Sydney Slavin added 4, and Katie Smith and Olivia Thompson scored 2 points each. Last Friday, the Brashear boys traveled to North Shelby to play North Shelby in the 7th and 8th place game. The Brashear boys looked like they had North Shelby on the ropes as the Tigers jumped out to an 11-6 lead after the first quarter. Brashear extended their lead to 16-6, but North Shelby went to the line 14 times compared to Brashear's 0, allowing North Shelby to climb back into the game and take a 20-18 lead into halftime. After the half, Brashear pulled ahead 26-22 and led until North Shelby hit a bucket with 5 seconds left to take a 29-28 lead after 3 quarters. In the fourth, North Shelby went to the line 24 times compared to 6 visits from Brashear. Despite outscoring North Shelby 34-23 from the field, Brashear couldn't overcome the 27-4 free throw advantage and fell to North Shelby 50-38. Adam Songer, Cody Snelling, and Nick Thomas scored 7 points each for Brashear. Hayden Hausman and Jay Scudder had 6 each, Zach Reeves had 3, and Taryn Treasure scored 2 points each.
In Tuesday night's games, Brashear got 2 conference wins over Green City. In the girls' game, Green City jumped out to an 11-3 lead and was up 14-9 after the first quarter. In the second quarter, Brashear battled back, outscoring the Gophers 20-14, and went into the halftime with the lead of 29-28. Brashear was still holding on to the lead of 38-35 at the end of the third quarter. In the last quarter, Brashear knocked down 9 free throws for the win of 51-47. For the Lady Tigers, Stephanie Elsie led in points with 21, Shelby Salter had 16 points, Abby McKim had 7, Meredith Thomas had 3, and Katie Smith and Sydney Slavin both scored 2 points each. In the first quarter of the boys' game, Brashear finished with a slim lead of 19-15. The Tigers in the second quarter outscored Green City 19-11 to take a 38-26 lead at halftime. In the third quarter, the Gophers came within 8, but the Tigers answered back and led 52-40. In the fourth quarter, the Tigers won 65-40. For the Tigers, Adam Songer led in scoring with 21 points. Nick Thomas and Cody Snelling had 12 points each. Hayden Hausman had 7. Jay Scudder had 6, and Joseph Woods scored 2 points.